first thing we may want to talk about is what is Web 2.0. Now, if you've paid attention to the technology sector at all in recent years, you've probably heard the term. You've probably heard it used a lot of different ways. It originally was coined by a guy named Tim O'Reilly. Now, this isn't the Irish guy that does talk radio in the middle of the day. This is a technical guy from the West Coast that's part of this great, huge group called O'Reilly, which is really a bunch of people that sit around and talk about technology all day, where they think it's going to go, and push it to the limits to see what they can do with it. And what he was really talking about is after the bust happened, and remember that? There was a telecom corridor over there, and now a lot of buildings that used to be Ericsson are like hotels. You know, the internet didn't go away like people thought it was going to do. Actually, it got better, it got cooler, and all these new applications came out. And it was kind of a generic phrase that just talked about all that stuff. But today it really has, you know, like kind of a buzzword connotation. People started putting it into venture capital proposals. And when they did, VCs went, oh, you're Web 2.0, here's some money. Right? So it became anything that was new and pretty and looked kind of this Web 2.0 look that people try to put into website design today. That's really not what Web 2.0 is accepted as, though, by the web community. Web 2.0 is really about new ways for people to distribute and receive information, and for the users to use collective intelligence to make information better. And what I mean by that is, who here knows a great place to find a pizza within 5 miles of here? Put your hand up. Okay, everybody with your hand out, put it down. Who doesn't know? Come on, there, okay. All right, from Verizon. So your collective wisdom can help this guy find that place online. That's one of the concepts of Web 2.0. User-contributed content. Instead of looking at the content that I write and put on my web page, you guys actually create the content and share it, or you're able to control exactly what piece of content you choose to receive and how it's displayed for you. That's what these Web 2.0 applications are all about. All right. We just kind of did that, but right now there's a ton of different concepts out there that are Web 2.0 platforms and Web 2.0 distribution methods. I'm only going to talk about 4 of them because I got to keep my time down. I'm going to give you guys a little background on social networks, video sharing websites, blogging, and podcasting, and I'm going to move quick so that I don't get the guy ringing the bell at me. But let's go with social networks first. The first 2 you guys have probably heard of, MySpace and Facebook. Who's heard of MySpace, right? Who thinks MySpace is just a place for the kids in high school to share information, talk about their teachers, and get in trouble? Okay, that's not what MySpace is. Pepsi uses MySpace. Coca-Cola uses MySpace. Every presidential candidate has a MySpace page. There's major marketing initiatives being built around MySpace. There's a reason it was sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. It's because it has more eyes on it than just about any other website in existence today. Facebook looks a lot like MySpace, but it was originally marketed just to the college community. It was a way for college people to integrate and interface, and now it's been opened up to everybody. Who knows what MySpace actually started as, what its original goal was? Back there? It was for musicians. It was for garage bands to get out their information to the community when they had no other way to do it. The kids came in and took over, and then corporate America followed Generation Y into that mix. But what I really want to tell you guys about Meetup. Who here has heard of Meetup, uses Meetup, part of Meetup? If you are not on Meetup, get on Meetup. It is the best way I know of to meet other people in your business community that have common interests, be they business interests or personal interests. It is a great way to network. Meetup is the primary catalyst, along with YouTube, that has allowed Ron Paul, a very unknown, I would say, presidential candidate, to raise over $12 million in Q4 alone this year. And that really is the power of Meetup and YouTube put together. That gives you an idea of that. And then LinkedIn. Who here has heard of LinkedIn? Okay, great. That's one that's being used. It's mainstream. It's been around a while. But if you're not using LinkedIn, it's another thing that I really recommend you get on. It allows you to tie into the networks of your friends. And it allows someone that thinks really good of you and has done business with you to write a review about you and say what you did for them and pass that information along to their contacts. It's a great way to distribute that information. These are all Web 2.0 platforms. Okay, video sharing websites. The big ones are YouTube, iFilm, Metacafe, and Yahoo Video, and there's also a lot of what I call niche players out there today. There's video sites that specialize in outdoors and hunting and sports. There's ones that are just in the mixed martial arts. The cool thing about YouTube, though, is the most used one, is how many kids have you guys seen on the news from some little place in Virginia or Texas or California just because they put out one really cool video, right? And corporate America is starting to figure this out. We're promoting major motion pictures on YouTube today. But we're also promoting local businesses on YouTube today because it's a way for you to get in front of a huge audience around the world no matter where you are. And the cost of entry is the same for everybody. You need a video camera and about 15 minutes of training on how to do some basic audio and video editing, and you can put up films on YouTube. What's really nice about these mechanisms, so they all have rating systems that allow users to rate, how good this video, how bad this video, share these videos. It makes it very portable. Anybody can put video on a website today or tie it into these other social networks. So, again, a lot of times we look at this, we see these kids breaking their necks on skateboards or whatever. We think, well, that's what YouTube's all about. But again, every presidential candidate has a YouTube channel. And again, I go back to Ron Paul because I'm pushing for him, and this is not a political message. It's just, here's a guy that had no chance at all to raise any money, pulling $12 million out a quarter because of YouTube and Meetup combined. So that gives you an idea of what's possible with those.